Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
1 week before this day, I received an email from Kenya Airways informing me that my ticket had been booked to Johannesburg. So I needed to run to Kamkunji to get my new suitcases, and that's the day that we got the suitcases. I needed to declutter my room, and that's why it was in such a mess. Here, my best friend was confirming if the suitcase was in perfect condition, just how we saw it in Kamukunji, because in Nairobi, if you do not confirm your goods, you will find that you bought something different. And then we went to Panda Mart to get a neck pillow for the flight. A girl was excited because I've never been on a flight before. Yes. I came back to my room, and this is me packing. The most hectic part when traveling is the packing bit, because you normally feel like you are going to need everything, and sometimes you might end up overpacking or carrying things which you might not even wear. So I needed to be precise as possible. The day we had all been waiting for finally arrived, and this is us walking towards our cab. We took an Uber to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport because that is where I was going to board. And I needed to be at the airport by 10 a.m. So this is us on the way. I was very excited, guys. You can see my passport is very cute. I catch flights, not feelings. Ooh. I had to make sure I use this sound, guys. So this is us on the way, and I really wish the driver could go faster than this because I did not want to be late. I did not want to miss my flight. So we took a selfie because the girl is, this was me. I actually did not have any appetite, and that is why I took a snack. I had to pass by the supermarket and get a cling film to cover my suitcase because of protection and safety issues. Actually, you will see at the end of the video, I forgot to lock my suitcase. So within no time, we were at the airport. I actually got at the airport on time. This was around 10 o'clock. It was already 10, yeah, but I was on time. So we did our farewell. We hugged each other goodbyes. We were sad for a moment, but again, not like sad, yeah. So this is another farewell hug, girls for just being girls, emotional. And then this is our last selfie because we needed to create some content for you guys and also for memories. No, this is actually the last one now. We needed to take this video so that we could extract photos, and then this woman decided why not pass in front of this video. Yeah, so they went, and then it was time for me to practice adulthood because I was alone. So I checked in at the baggage area and also the security check, only to find out that I did not have a yellow fever card, and I had to run to the port health where I got sorted. Even though it took time, I was really nervous, guys, because I did not want to be left. But within no time and a little bit of some money here and there, I got my yellow fever card and I was good to go. Here I was really nervous because I was told they closed the check-in site, the security check-in site at exactly 12 p.m. So I needed to rush back and get my luggage scanned. Here my luggage was scanned and I was asked a few questions before the bags said bye-bye to me, and that is when I remember that I had not locked my suitcase, guys, but it was gone. I was told to meet my suitcase in Johannesburg. I was really scared because I did not even get to use the cling film that I bought. Anyway, I went to the biometrics and got my passport stamped for the first time. My first stamp, guys. I was very excited, especially seeing the Kenya Airways. This was my first time. You can only imagine the feeling. Here I was on calls. I was on very many calls. Everyone was calling me. Not everyone. My parents, my friends, and my siblings, they were calling to know where I had reached with the check-in process and whether I had finished everything on board. I had the support even though I was alone, guys. One thing about me is that I will always ask. So I was going around asking my next stop, and here I had asked where gate 14 was and was heading over there because I did not want to be late. I did not want to run when I had less time. So here I was walking towards my gate. It was gate 14, and I was whispering prayers in my heart, telling God, please, God, guide my suitcase, protect my suitcase, because I have had very many stories where people's bags are broken into and goods are stolen. And that time they have locked their suitcases. And imagine, I had not locked my suitcase. So this was like double tragedy. Yeah. So I got to the waiting lounge and I sat there as I waited for my time to board the plane. And then I had the last phone call with my mom and dad, and my dad prayed for me. And then it was time to walk into the plane. This is me walking to the plane. I was so nervous and excited at the same time because this was my first time boarding a plane. But at the same time, I was positive that I was going to have a safe flight and get to Johannesburg in perfect condition. This is me inside the plane. I had to record content. I had seen the previous day how to check your seats. So that was me. I had confirmed that my seat was 17A, and I had to pay for the window seats actually the day before. When I was checking in online, I paid for the window seat because I wanted to see the views, even though I got the window seat with the wing. I did not get the full experience, but it was better than none. This is me trying to access the movie site on the plane. I don't know why this button was misbehaving, but I finally got it right. And I played this movie that was called The City of Second Chances. Even though I did not have the correct connector for the headphones and the screen, I did not actually manage to hear what was going on in the movie. But it was good for entertaining my eyes, to break the boredom. The good thing about this ride, the previous day, I had prayed that I get a seat and I sit alone without any other passengers on the next seats, and God answered my prayers. So I started checking what was in the front part of my seat. There was the airbag for people who have the air sickness, and these were the rules and the security rules, the safety rules, yeah. And this was the thing for Kenya Airways. There was also a type of magazine which had like tax-free goods that you could buy on the plane. I got to that later on. So I received my earphones and I was very ready. Here I was tying my safety belt, ready for takeoff. When I saw this woman spraying these things, I don't know what they were exactly, I knew we were almost taking off. And within no time, these rules were playing on our screens and the plane started moving. Guys, this was the moment I had been waiting for. I was so anxious because I did not know how I was going to feel. I put my phone on airplane mode, and within no time, I was seeing the clouds. I was in the clouds. I needed to capture every moment because this was the first of many that are yet to come. I took some aesthetically pleasing photos and videos for my gram, and here I was trying to get a perfect tripod because I did not have a tripod. I was trying to get the perfect angle for recording my videos and, taking some cute photos and videos. One thing that I really thank God for is for enabling me to get to the airport on time. Most of the time we're used to African timing and not keeping time, but this day I was on time, and this really helped me because when I was told that I needed a yellow fever card, I was able to run to the port health and I was able to be served within 30 minutes, and I still had some free time to go and finish up on the security check-in. This is something that I would advise everyone, is to always try and keep time. I remember this saying that we used to be told in primary, that a man knows the importance of 1 minute when he is left by the flight. Yeah, I was almost experiencing this, but I thank God I did not get to that point where I was left by the plane. So within no minute, it was lunchtime, and here we were given wet wipes to clean our hands because lunch was about to be served. I was so excited. I was very happy because this was my first time boarding a flight and eating on a flight. And also the fact that I did not know what we were going to be served also made the journey juicy. I'm out of time. She's at the door. I gotta go for mine. Let the girl say yeah. Excuse me, and I gotta admit that I was really doing everything to distract myself from the fact that lunch had taken a little bit longer, or I'm the one who does not know how long it takes for you guys to be served after being given the wet wipes. I was really hungry at this point because of the love suggestion. They had already given us wet wipes, so I thought within the next 5 minutes we were going to be served. So here I was trying to entertain myself, waiting for the food to be served. Prior to this flight, I had seen so many reviews online, especially on TikTok, of people claiming that Kenya Airways has the most pathetic customer service, and also in terms of how they handle the customers' luggage. So I was scared. But at this point, I think they had begun to change my mind, because so far everything was smooth from the point that I realized I did not have my yellow fever card. The madam and the officer who were there really helped me in maneuvering through the airport in terms of where I was going to get my yellow fever card in the port health, and I am really grateful for this. 10,000 years later, and it was my turn to be served. I was asked if I wanted chicken or beef, and of course I chose chicken because I love chicken so much, and then I was served. So I had sweet potatoes, chicken, spinach, bread, juice, and this dessert, which was cake and some chocolate. It was very yummy. This was my view from the window. It was so therapeutic, very therapeutic. I highly recommend. Within no time, I started devouring my meal. The food really exceeded my expectations. It was so yummy. I did not expect this, guys. So I devoured into my meal, and within no time I got served with juice and also received a bottle of water, which really came in handy because at the check-in they do not allow you to board the flight with any liquid. So this was me enjoying my food. It was really yummy.
I believe everything we have will last. We young and naive of me to think she was from your past. Silly of me to dream of one day having your kids. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. I can't believe I fell for your schemes. I'm smarter than that. Young and naive to believe that with me you're a changed man. Foolish of me to compete when you cheat, when lose, when win. It took me some time, but now
One thing about me, I'll always be creative, and that is why I started decorating my dessert. I was using the chocolate provided to write my name just to create something more of a memory, because this photo will go a long way. This was just to remind me that I boarded my first flight at the age of 21. So you can see that is why at the end of this video I decided to write my name and also my age, which is she at 21.
now that it's over, stop calling me. Come pick up your clothes. Ain't no need to front like you're still with me. All your homies know. Even your very best friend tried to warn me on the low. Took me some time, but now I am strong.
The only thing that was remaining after finishing my meal was to get a perfect position for my sweet sleep, and this is where my neck pillow was to come in handy. I really tried my best to adjust this pillow to get a perfect position because I had never used it before and this was my first time. It was really hectic because I did not know if I should put it facing towards the front or towards the back. I really tried finding the best position for me to put my head and have a sweet sleep, because nothing hits harder than the sleep that is accompanied after a delicious meal, and I really needed to sleep. I did not have any other option but to sleep. So after 10,000 years I finally found a perfect position to sleep, and then I said good night. I reduced the, I don't know how it's called, this window. There is this button over here that you can use to make the window dark for you to sleep. So that is what I did and finally slept. I did it after this.
About 5 minutes ago, when I seen the hottest chick that a youngin' never seen before, I say, yo, tell the girls I wanna meet her. On second thought, that ain't the way to go. I gotta give her game proper, spit it so she get it. There she is, I gotta stop her. Or should I talk about a smile? Or what about a style? I'm out of time, she's out the door, I gotta go for mine. Or should I talk about a smile?
1 hour later, I finally woke up and I was still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I was on my first flight, flying to an international city for the first time, and I had gotten my passport stamped for the first time using an international flight. Thank you so much to my sister and to family for enabling my trip to be a success, and this is one of the ways that I have created my memories for 2025, which will last for a lifetime. Here I was drinking my water. Because we were almost alighting the plane and I needed to hydrate. After a few moments later, I started playing with this remote control, even though I did not know how it was working. I don't know if mine had spoiled because it wasn't working per se. I tried pressing the buttons, but it wasn't working. For other people, I could see them playing with the buttons. There are even some gaming buttons at the back of this remote control. So I did not manage to use it. I was trying to play around with it, and within no time we were almost landing.
So many things I want to tell you. I think that I should start by saying, yeah. I gotta give a game proper. Pretty so she get it where she is. I gotta stop her. Oh yeah. Trying to leave. Oh. I would love to keep you here with me, you baby. Everybody just clap your hands like this. Just clap your hands like this. And if the shorty's in the house tonight, just grab a bottle.
There was no way I was going to leave the flight without going through everything that was on my seat. So I decided to go through these duty-free items that you could purchase on the plane. I believe this meant that if you buy these items, you are not going to pay for tax. Yeah, and that is why they are called duty-free items. And then I went through this plane security, these plane safety rules. I perused through them very fast because there was no time. And these were some really helpful tips that I carry in mind even for the next flight. One of the flight attendants walked through and told us to put the table rest back to its position for landing. So I needed to return everything to the back of the front seat and prepare myself for landing. Here we had been told that we were going to experience a very small turbulence, and I thought it was not going to be a big deal, but guys, yeah, it was bad. I had never experienced such a thing. I actually thought something bad was going to happen. I thought we were going to have a crash. I was so scared. My heart was literally on my hands, and I was checking if anyone else had experienced what I had experienced, and everyone was scared. But good thing we started seeing the land, and we knew we were in South Africa and we were going to land. We finally landed, and we needed to alight from the plane because we were finally in Johannesburg, South Africa, guys. I still could not believe it. I don't know. My heart was still in shock from the turbulence, but also I was processing the fact that I had landed in a totally new country. So here I was following the people wherever they were going because I have never been on a flight, so I do not know the processes. But my brother-in-law had already talked to me, and he told me that I needed to go and get my passport stamped again, and that is what I was doing. I was following these people to see where they were going. But the funny thing is that there is a place we got to where people started going to different directions, and I got confused. So I needed to inquire from one of the madams who was seated at the reception area, and she guided me and directed me to where I was supposed to go. This was me walking towards the security area where I was going to get my passport stamped. One thing I noticed is that every time I get to the security checks, they remove my passport cover. I think I need to keep this in mind, that every time I get to the security checks, I need to remove my passport cover. Finally, I was a free woman, and I could finally say Welcome to Johannesburg, South Africa. The only thing that was remaining was me going to get my baggage. I did not know where to go, so I asked again and I was directed. And this was me capturing the views as I got my bag from this thing. I don't know how it's called, but I finally got my bag. I was happy and I walked towards the Nelson Mandela statue where I had been told to wait for my family members to come and pick me up.
I need to hear this. It's a lot of names on my hit list. I'll still say what he wants to. Still wet like a big. I should run a whole.
As I was walking towards the statue, I heard some men complaining how their bags had been broken into, how their goods had been damaged, and I was so sad for them. I was thankful that my bag was safe, especially with the fact that I had forgotten to lock even the zippers, even to put the code. But I did that immediately. I got my bag, and here you can see it is locked. So I found my sister and it was time to go home, guys. I was really excited and I couldn't wait. So we ordered an Uber and this was us trying to find the Uber. It was not easy, especially the fact that this airport is so big. We were getting lost, but finally found our way to the rooftop where we connected with our Uber guy, and this was us going home. The Uber rider was really curious and talkative and really wanted to know so much about Kenya. And those are the conversations that were going on throughout this ride. For the remaining part of this video is basically us on the road. I was capturing some great views as you're going to see. And yeah, that was it, guys, for this video. Thank you so much for getting this far with the video. Thank you for watching. Kindly like this video. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button, comment on this video and share it with your friends and family to also enjoy my first experience. Bye bye, guys.
Hey, yes sir, that's her, but it wasn't like that back when I met her. The lavish life from all the ghost mud, before the double R had to hitchhike some. Her friends didn't like dudes like us, but I arrested the coochie and the feelings got caught. Spiderweb sex must have got caught up, but there's more to it. I remember once saying less on the peons. Let's go to Vegas and watch Celine Dion, make them say what we on. You say no like you was doing it for eons. Funk it, I just hum and let the watch give up the neons. When it rains, it pours. I laugh to myself when I changed the score. You said my sex was a lot, but my brain gave you more. It's something about how your ex was a toy. I guess.
I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your